How's it going, guys?
All right, and yourself?
Doing good, doing good. Snow's starting to melt over here in Chicago. It feels great.
How you doing, Daryl?
All right, what about yourself?
Doing good, thanks. Doing good.
Hey, Daryl. Hey, Keish.
Hey,
Sorry
Yes,
for
I-
being a tad bit late there, guys. I lost track of the time. I was on a call that, you ever been on those calls where the other party is talking so much they won't shut up and you just can't get them to be quiet long enough to get off the call? I was just on a call like,
You're hitting a lot of nerves, Jim.
Don't you
Huh?
hate that? Don't you hate that, Jim?
Yeah.
yeah. And Chris, the way I really hate it is when I'm the one doing all the talking and I can't get myself off the call. Hey, Phil, what did you say?
Oh, you're hitting a lot of nerves on that one.
Yeah, I hear you.
congratulations, Vinky.
What did I miss? I have not been on the socials today. What happened?
With Vinky, she's not saying nothing.
Thank
you
you so
prob-
much, Daryl. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my phone to work because I'm sitting downstairs because I got a new desk. So they're building my desk upstairs. Congratulations to you too.
We
Oh,
closed. We
Jim, we closed that. That's our deal today.
closed.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Was that the Fairway Villages guys? that you
Yes,
both on?
yes,
Oh, today
yes.
was closing day? Congratulations.
Hey,
Yes.
congrats.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Congrats, guys.
Congratulations, guys.
So,
Thank you.
so let me ask you a question. What, officially, when did you guys get the email that you closed? What time?
Today.
This morning or
I
I
this
probably got
afternoon?
about an hour ago.
I think,
Okay.
less than an hour ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my next question is, have either one of you updated your resume or your scheduled real estate on or your PFS?
Not yet.
Not yet. That's the next.
Get that on your bio and everything like right now.
Yeah, super excited.
That is fantastic news. I'm so proud of you guys.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
It's our best
So-
turnout on this in a while. Love it.
What was that, James?
So this is a good turnout for the meeting tonight.
Yeah, and it's only 5:05. And we've already got a chat. What's the chat? Oh, congrats. Thank you, Tim. So anyway, guys, I want to start off today with, I know that we put a poll out about changing the time for this. And I don't remember specifically the results of the poll, but from my memory, it basically, I think was, we prefer a weekday between 1 and 3 was my memory.
Wednesday, I think I thought it was earlier than 1, but it was Wednesday, I think was the day.
Okay. Well, I think suffice it to say, I think that the majority vote was that we're going to do it at a different time. And so I wanted to just go ahead and tell everyone that we're going to do it at a different time. And so this will probably be the last week we do it at this time slot. But this time slot is not going away. So we're going to have something else in the time slot. And Vinky, are you still on board with that?
Yes, I am, Jim.
Okay, so do you want to kind of give everyone a clue about what you've got planned for the time slot?
Yes, I wanted to take over this time slot and I'm gonna start meetup over here, sort of meetup that we can have on speaker and also a networking session. We can use this time on a weekly basis if possible. So wanted to see if everybody's on board for that.
So,
I'll try to make it whenever I can, but it's just tougher with the kids.
so Vinky, is that going to be an official GOB in the Bay Area type of meetup, or is that going to be
Yes.
just a Vinky, the Lumba investment meetup?
West is Luma Investment plus GOB is gonna be GOB network, of course. And then we're gonna try to bring as many people as many we can so we can educate all the passive investing people, because most of the passive investors, I'm not sure if they're getting, from my perspective, at least in my area, if they're getting the knowledge or the education that they're looking for, that will give them the comfort level to invest. So then having a bunch of us together in the meetup, that's gonna open up so many channels for everybody, you know. I would say so many nodes of contact. They can get in touch, and not necessarily they're investing in my deal, they can invest in anybody's deal since we all are together. So I'm open to that as well.
So I'm very grateful and humbled that you're going to be an affiliate. I appreciate it. And I'm sure that everyone else that is already affiliates are going to appreciate the brand to continue to grow and drive more traffic to each of you guys individually. And also wanted to, if there's anyone else that has anything that they want to say, I will add to that, Vinky, that I will always try to support all you guys. I'm excited, but I'm also almost dreading the day that we have a different meetup every hour of every day that I can't attend every single one of them.
Yeah, awesome. And I just wanted to mention, yes, it's gonna be a Zoom meeting. I think Tim was asking in the chat, it's gonna be via Zoom. So everybody's welcome, and please spread the word. So hopefully we'll start next Friday. If I can find a good speaker, somebody can come out and share some presentation or something.
And I would encourage everyone that that's on the network, you know, that if Vinky reaches out to you, I would hope that regardless of your fear level, agree to participate on anyone's meetup or chat to support the network. So if she asks you, you know, make every effort to try to accommodate everyone that's on, because it's not just going to drive traffic for them, but eventually as those things become bigger, you know, you're attracting a lot of outside eyeballs. You have potentially you're getting attention from other investors that are not part of our platform. So
Absolutely.
fantastic. So Vinky, you've got over 200 guests already lined up.
Awesome, that's great.
All right, so anyone else have anything that they want to talk about or anything that they want to cover today?
Yes, Jim, I would like to mention the young lady that was on my meetup. The young lady that was on my meetup Tuesday, she has an opportunity. I told her I would present it. I would present it to you. I'm just going to read her email. I told her just shoot me a brief in the email. So she says, acquisition, $100 million, 250 plus acres, hotel, golf course, multifamily, develop and curate. The seller won't separate a lot. We are looking for a group that wants to come in and partner as debt equity partner. It says, excuse me, there is currently no structure in place, but we have potentially. The gentleman that I spoke with is about the 3 million and owns heavy duty construction material. Both potential investors. Okay, now it says the other options that they have would be looking to explore is obtaining a non-recourse loan. All right, so basically, this is 250 plus acres, and the owner that has this particular lot, she wants, I'm assuming that she wants someone to come in and purchase it, but she's not gonna, from my understanding, she doesn't want to separate the lots. There is a construction person that has the ability and the equipment that's going to do, that can do the building and all of that. And from my understanding, of course, 250 plus acres, we're looking at a pretty big a pretty big, large sum, which is 100+ million. So I just wanted to run it past you. And this way, whatever questions that you may have and the group may have, I could then take it back to her. Because to be honest, I was like, let me just run it past them, because I didn't really have a lot. And it's the same. I don't know if you stayed to the end, but it was the same young lady that they was trying. I think everyone was really trying to make her feel comfortable in the group, because I think she may have had some doubts or whatever. But
Yeah, that was the young lady that just seemed to be frazzled and like,
yeah,
overwhelmed,
yeah,
there was so much going on. She just felt like she was drowning.
right.
So
That's her.
I apologize. I did not get to stay to the end because I had another conflict on the hour and had to leave. But so where is this project?
Florida.
In Florida. And is it just raw land, or is it an existing project that was already started and is partially finished? Give a little more color on that.
Okay, so from my understanding, I'm going to say it's raw land, but on this land, on that 250+ acres, I do believe there's a structure that's on that 250+ acres, which is, I think, is the hotel. Now, I don't know about the golf course, is a question mark. She mentioned the golf course, but I don't know if the golf course is actually on the land. But I do believe that there's a structure, which is a hotel, that's on the land. The rest of the land could be developed for like multifamily and stuff like that. So that part, I do believe I'm correct on.
Okay. Well, I would think at $100 million price tag that there probably is a golf course, probably is a hotel, and there may be even some other structures. Because I actually was in negotiations to buy a few golf courses last year, and wish that I had pulled the trigger, but I didn't. Hindsight. They were. I mean, I was in negotiations anywhere from 3 million up to 20 million for golf courses, depending on the location, and so that's obviously a long way from 100 million. So I would think, just based upon that, and knowing kind of where some of these pricing structures are, that there's already some things there. So that's my initial reaction. My secondary reaction would be that's outside my personal wheelhouse and expertise. Is it something that interests me? Absolutely. But it's something that also scares the living bejesus out of me if I were to take it on. And quite honestly, I wouldn't be very confident in my ability to bring it to fruition. Now, if I suddenly had 4 people on this call say, oh, heck yeah, I want in, and I guarantee you I can bring 10 million to the deal, then I would jump right back in that boat. But my guess is this is going to be a very heavy, challenging lift, no matter who takes it on. And I don't think we're ready for it. But I'm definitely open to somebody convincing me otherwise. But you know how I feel about these things. I'm a big believer. Let's take baby steps before we try to run.
Right.
And that let's get momentum. Let's get some wins. Would I love to do a project like this and for all of us to be on it? You're darn shooting I would. I would love that. And I'd like to get there. And the sooner the better. But my guess is it's too big right now for us to tackle. I think if we tackled something like that, the only thing it would do is take all of our attention away from what we're doing right now, because it would require all of us to focus 100% on a deal that big. And which means if we didn't get it, that we just wasted everyone on the platform's time for a year or more. And in that same time frame, I can almost guarantee you we're going to take down, if we don't take down 12 deals this year, I'm going to be surprised. I'm going to be shocked. if we don't take down at least 12 deals on the platform. And my guess is we could double that, because I know how hard everyone's working. I know how many phone calls I'm having. I know how many people are reaching out to me. So I'm going to be very surprised if we don't have that kind of deal flow. So would I rather have that, or would I rather take a chance on this other venture?
Right.
So that's kind of where I am. That doesn't mean that if I come across the right person who really wants something like that I wouldn't say to them, hey, I know where this deal is if you want to in on it. But if that's the case, I would say you want to get a lot more information from her. Who are the partners? What are their experience? You need to kind of flush out that what the structure is going to look like, what the deal structure is going to look like, and who's going to be on it.
Okay.
So that if you did suddenly have the opportunity to pitch it to someone, you've got enough information to get them interested. Because somebody with that kind of deep pockets, they're going to want quite a bit of information up front before they even say, yeah, I might be interested, so.
Actually, on that note, I'm going to mention that I do have one deal as well in Sacramento here in California, and that's a ground up as well. And the entitlement is being worked on. And I'm looking for some contact for some developer contact too. So if somebody wants to come on board, this is like a huge project. It's a retail plus commercial, because I think the front is going to be the retail, in the back we can build a multifamily or something. And then I know the person who wants to sell the land, he has a huge parcel, like 100 acres, and he wants to sell maybe half of it. And the city is just working on all the entitlements because they're doing all the rezoning, and they're trying to build something like Oklahoma City, like kind of a riverside kind of thing, like go-to place for everybody in Sacramento area. And it could be very lucrative, but it's going to be huge project. So I will, and Jim, especially you, love to get your feedback. And if you have, if you can think of somebody, some developer who might want to look at it, I would love that, because I really want a piece of it, piece of this project, because it's going to be super cool project.
So I wish that we're in Texas, because I've got a ton of contacts that I could call right now that are going through my mind. In California, I would have to stop and think about it. I do have a couple of people in mind, but they would not include us probably, or they would include us and they would expect a lot more from us than what they would be willing to give us. But we can definitely talk about it. I would also encourage you to try to put together something that you can put on the platform and let everyone know. There are a lot of developers on the platform. They may not be that big yet, but if they were to come together, then maybe they could, jointly do something.
Okay.
So I would definitely, put that in front of the platform.
So Vinky, you
guys
gonna?
mind if I jump in?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, I'm reluctant to jump forward, but I'm still trying to really understand what this platform is, and I like the group. That's why I keep coming back. And I'm reluctant to say that I'm really an architect that can probably help with some of the planning and some of the site layouts and unit rehabs, and there's a lot of skill sets I can bring to something like that. But I don't want to just say, throw it at Phil, let him spend 2-3 days on doing drawings, and we're never actually going to get the deal. But if you're serious about a property and the numbers work and you need an architect's eyes on it, please, I'm okay helping this network. So as long as you guys understand that just don't, throw something at me if you're not serious about it. But I'll help if I can, because that's a skill set I have.
Great. Well,
Thank
Phil, I'm gonna
you.
tell you right now, I'm not gonna throw nothing at you that I'm not serious about. I ain't gonna waste your time, because I don't want no one wasting my time.
I'll go a step further and say that from an architect standpoint, we can involve Phil on the front end of so many things that he'd be constantly buried. I would say, even if you need an architect on a project, consider holding back. You don't have to have everything that he can bring you until you've got some commitments. So you might wait until you have an accepted LOI. or at the very least, reach out to Phil and say, Phil, we're going to put in an LOI. This is kind of what the project looks like and what we're thinking about. I'm not asking you to do anything yet, but just wanted to get your feedback, some verbal feedback. Don't want you to start making drawings. Don't want you to start spending a lot of money and going down the rabbit hole of doing all this. But I think that would be a good way to engage Phil in his professional services. And I would do the same thing. It's a little bit different. Some of the PMs that we're working with, some of the lenders and the insurance companies, they're asking us to put them on the front end. They're asking to do that work. So for me, that's a different kind of ask. But even those guys will reach a certain level of success where they'll say, guys, I can't do that anymore. I'm too busy. I've got so many buyers coming in my door right now that I can't work with people that are still trying to decide. So we all go through, kind of a continuum like that. But what else?
What are some of the questions that you would need answered, not just for yourself, but for everyone, that I could possibly bring Tuesday to my meetup group? Although my meetup group, I like to keep it strictly commercial multifamily, but I would like to try to bring some answers to some of the concerns and questions.
Daryl, who are you asking this question?
Everybody. What are some of the questions that would need to be asked to try to get more of a solid base to see, to see if this is something that's even worth the time?
So are you saying on that project that you were just talking about, or are you talking about? Okay. So for me, I would want to know, like I said, I want to know what the deal structure looks like and who's already involved in their backgrounds and resume, so to speak.
Okay.
And what they're bringing to the table.
Okay.
And obviously what's already there.
Gotcha.
And I also like to add is just like, what's the master plan for the community? What's the master plan? Where's the sewer? Where's the water hookups? You're going to have to do it in a phased approach. My brother-in-law's a developer up here, residential. You're going to have to do that kind of a thing. Is all the land buildable? Does it perk? Does it not perk? Is it swampland? Is there any national reserves in that area, Everglades, where you can't build? It sounds like a lot of property. It seems, I guess, to me at this late stage in Florida, it seems to me it may not be as all that land is usable or buildable, because it just seems a lot of land. But yeah, like, what's the master plan? Where the sewer? Where the water hookups in the town? What's the city? Is the city on board with something? What is their master plan? They may say, oh yeah, we want senior living, or nope, we want a nature preserve.
Okay.
You're reading my mind, Pat. I was going to say that I kind of was assuming, because based upon the price tag, that most of that stuff was already done. But absolutely, you need to know that. And right, you never know. And I think the easiest, there's two definite phone calls. One is to answer my question. Second one that I would make to answer all of Pat's questions is probably just someone at the city level. And because those plans will all have to already be there, and you're going to get very straight, dry answers. They're not going to be a sales pitch, not going to be, well, this, or we're thinking that, or we're hoping this. You're going to get solid data. And then you need to even ask those questions about, hey, who on the city council is on board? Who's pushing this project? Is this in line with your 10-year and your 20-year plan for the city?
Okay.
Who else has something to bring up, talk about tonight?
Okay, so I'm finally getting somewhere with my website. But I got kicked out of it last night. So I spent all day today trying to figure out how I can get access to it again. So I think my IP's blocked. So everyone else can see it. I just, from my internet service, cannot access my own website right now. I can get on by like hotspotting it and stuff. But if you, it's open right now. It's handsoffinvestment.com. Let me know what you think. I know Keishan, we're looking at it today.
Hamad, do me a favor, drop it in the chat.
Yeah.
I would encourage, Hamad, would you want or you would not want everyone signing up on the website?
Well, I'll get the emails, but don't sign up yet. I just like all the pop-ups are working and it's all linked to my active campaign.
Okay.
So you can, if you want, you just won't receive anything from me from active campaign because
Well,
that's
I
not.
didn't know if that would be helpful or harmful because I know that your intent is to find your LPs. And so if we're just clogging up the works, then let's not.
No, it's okay either ways. At some point I will get everyone to sign up. But at the same time, we have everyone's email address and stuff to our contact list too.
Yeah, my thought was to give you feedback, not that you need our address or anything, but just to.
No, exactly. That's what I was going for is just if I can get feedback from everyone,
Cool.
what I need to change. I still have some minor like edits and stuff and things to tweak around, but for the most part, the main page is done.
Okay, great, fantastic.
Matt, I'm able to access it actually. The only thing is on the top. I wasn't sure if you purchased that security, the SSL thing or not, but on the top.
I do. I'm just waiting for it. So I can access my website, just not through my IP. So if I go like VPN or something or my mobile hotspot, I can access it. It's not an issue. Somewhere my IP got blocked. I think it's in WordPress most likely because I spent almost 2 hours with AT&T today. Spent half hour with my domain host and they're saying nothing's blocked. So I think it's just within WordPress somewhere, but I haven't been able to figure out what's causing that. Because it's specific to like my IP. But I was doing some edits yesterday. I updated something and it crashed on me. So I think it might have thought I was trying to hack it or something. I don't know. But
I'm just glad you recovered it because I can't imagine.
Well, that's what I was. This took me like 3 weeks to put together because it's like I was trying to learn Elementor at the same time, so I'm sure I could put it together quicker. But like, yeah, I was not happy at first. So I'm glad I can still at least access it. I'm trying to look for ways to make a copy of it. So, because the other thing I might do is just wipe out WordPress altogether and reinstall it at my domain, and that might help. But I'll see. That was going to be my next step, is see how I can copy what's already there. That way I can just reinstall the page. Everything else I should be able to link up pretty quick, like the pop-ups and stuff. It's not an issue anymore. I know putting that together. So
yeah, I mean, it looks good on like the desktop, because I was comparing it when I checked out your website on my phone.
Mobile,
and it looked like completely different. So when I checked it on my laptop, it was like it looked good.
I've even the mobile I've fixed up a little bit now, so the mobile should be better as well versus what you saw.
Okay.
But so what I'm thinking of doing is, since I have like a huge credit on Fiverr now, because what happened was I actually started my web development Jan 14th.
Okay.
Who went with one web developer and his stuff was completely garbage. Even though I spent a fair bit of time interviewing and talking to them, telling them what I wanted. Spent another week finding another one that I talked to before as well. Same thing, didn't get the results I wanted. It was better, but it wasn't what I wanted. And then finally I was like, I don't have time for this. I'll just do it myself. So that's where I'm at now. So I've been working on it for a couple of weeks myself now and just trying to figure out how to link everything, do pop-ups, and build the page. I can do it now. So I think my other two pages should be pretty quick, because I'll just copy this page over and change the content in it. That way I don't have to worry about building all the links to the pop-ups and all that sort of stuff, and I'll keep those the same.
Hey, Helmut. Yeah, the website looks great. Good job.
Thank you.
Hey,
you have like 4,000 or 5,000 doors. That's what it looks like. It looks like you got 4,000 or 5,000 doors.
Exactly. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
So just to kind of bring things back, I know this is our capital raising call. So we've had a lot of topics tonight, but in my mind, what Hamad is doing right now is probably the most directly related to what this call is generally aimed at, which is trying to help each and every one of us figure out how to be better at these things and what tools we need to implement. So I would say that everyone is going to want to eventually probably have some type of website. Is going to go through the same challenges that Hamad is going through right now. So Hamad, if you want to speak to that, I think that would be very beneficial about what went wrong with Fiverr and each of those. What could you not get? How much did it cost? If somebody else were to do it, would you have any suggestions? Anything that you would do differently? You know, and just generally just have a discussion about where you are in the process.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think part of the challenge is a lot of Fiverr, unless you're paying like over a couple of thousand, they're using templates. And Tim, I just saw your message, and even what I'm using right now is templates, but it's very, I've completely changed up the template and kind of mix and match and stuff like that. So it's a lot more from scratch. I think the challenge I had, even though I'll even share all my like copy and my Excel, and you've seen it. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, thank you. Sorry. So I mean, you've seen it, Jim. I've showed you all the copy and everything I put together. You know, I had a good idea of what I wanted to look like and everything. It was just more the challenge of them really understanding and having like the right look and feel. Because if you go to it right now, I've tried to, as much as I can, choose the right word, my messaging, and also associate pictures to it. So when a reader's going through it and reading it, because it is a little bit of a long form sales pitch in a way as well, because my avatar is more, you know, it's people that don't know anything about real estate investing or syndication. So it's really touching on some of their pain points. You know, the main page is just directly telling them what I do, then going into like some of their touching on their pain points.
I think that you're not making the point that he wants you to make, Hamad. I think he's telling
Yeah,
you.
he wants me to go scold my little one on why he made a mess. Okay, thank you. That's okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, so sorry, where was I? Yeah, so I spent a lot of time on the messaging component, and I still need to refine it a little bit. I'm working with someone else on the messaging part, so I'll be connecting with him once my website's done to review it as well. And he focuses, like his specialties on Olympic messaging, connecting with people on a more inner level, basically, right? So it's not you know, the we believe statements, you know, you're making those, it's what you believe in, but it's really, it emotionally attracts the reader because they can associate to it.
So is that with, are you talking about Adam's program or are you talking about?
No. This is Ridgely Goldsboro. If you look up mindtype.com, you should be able, he goes into like personalities and things like those. It has nothing to do with real estate at all.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. I think, you know, I'm in his mastermind group, and we have people from like people that teach to, you know, one person runs like a suicide prevention program, stuff like that. So his experience is very broad. So anyways, yeah, so that's kind of the challenge I had was just, you know, the sites I was getting were too busy. I'm trying to make sure with all the text that's there that it's easier to read and stuff. You know, I'm making sure all the fonts, I'm just using two fonts, the Bakersfield and Lado, which basically kind of goes into building trust as well, subconsciously.
So you're going pretty deep down the rabbit hole there then.
Right, I know.
I did, and that's why
great.
it took me a long time to get all of this together. You know, my colors for my logo are gold, but I'm keeping the website a little bit lighter, using a lot of blue. Blue again is If you notice it, a lot of finance companies use it because, again, it's, you know, it's the color for building trust.
So
Hey, Hamad.
Site looks
Yeah.
great.
Hey, Hamad, I wanted to say something. I checked your
Yeah.
website, looks really, really nice. Everything looks good.
Thank you.
But I do have one question, and I just wanted to mention here because you have used the word, investment bunch of times, and I think I read something financial too. Since I'm on my phone, I did not 100% get to read everything, but I'm assuming here, please correct me if I'm wrong, you made sure that all the wordings that you're using, that's correct and is like aligned with SEC, right? Because on the website too, we can have more like educational stuff, like geared towards education versus kind of pitching people to
Right.
invest in
Well,
the deals.
that's exactly. So I use, I use the term long form sales pitch, but it's not. It's for me, it was really geared towards the education component, right? I still need to go through and review all the text and stuff, just to make sure. But yeah, it is about, for me, again, it's my investors are people that have probably not heard about what a syndication is or real estate investment, or they've heard people invest in real estate, but they have no idea how. So that's why, I start off with, the main page is what I do, but then it just goes straight into some of the pain points and why, real estate investment really is. A lot of people invest, but or build wealth through it, but not everyone actually invests in real estate. Like, what are some of the things? And then kind of goes into, how we eliminate those barriers, going into then, the CTA, them to learn more. And I've tried to put those everywhere, and I have that floating one. That way they can click on it anytime. They don't have to scroll up or down. And then just kind of goes more deeper. Then after that, it goes really deep into who can invest, what a accredited, sophisticated investor is. So if you click on that, a pop-up will come up to explain, what those investors are, or a description of them. And then kind of just at the very bottom, there's a thing for, set up a call if you want. And that one isn't like, a lot of times you'll see a lot of sites saying, join the investor club now and everything, which it gets a little bit more pushy. So everything's geared towards making the investor as comfortable as possible. My goal is not for them to set up a call with me. It would actually be worse for me if they set up a call right away. I rather have them get into my funnel, read the ebook, so they have a little bit of an understanding of what the syndication world is. Because if they sign up, they're getting a series of 6 ebooks. Each one is roughly around 1,500 words, and it kind of goes through, what is a syndication? How do you read a PPM? What are the advantages of real estate? What are the different property types within real estate? Because I'm looking at just outside multifamily, right? Like, I'm not looking just at multifamily, sorry, but so it kind of goes into all of those things, and then finishing off with like a summary. So I'm going to send those out over a period of like 2 weeks. So I have all the ebooks done minus one. I just have to do a summary one for all the other 5. And that way, once they go through that, they'll have a good understanding. So maybe after like the 3rd or 4th one, I'll start putting in like set up a time to talk, because they should have a reasonably good understanding. I'll probably start putting it in my emails as well to set up a time to talk, basically.
So Hamad, a quick question about your ebooks. Did you just use some stuff that was already existing and put it in your voice, or did you try to create everything from scratch?
Yeah, I created it from scratch. I mean, at the same time, it's very basic, so it is readily available as well. I didn't make it overly complicated. It's very high level, simple. Again, it's enough just for a new person to come in and understand, the process and the theory about it. It doesn't go into details of this deal would bring in this percent or anything like that. Nowhere am I talking about returns or how much they can get. And that intentionally is done that way so that so we can talk about it when they call. And you know, if they set up a call, I'll send them a questionnaire just to help them, to help me and them better understand what they're trying to do and what their investor profile is and everything.
So I would encourage everyone, and Hamad, I applaud you for all the hard work you're doing, but I would encourage everyone not to work that hard. I would encourage you to use material that's already there, material that's already in the library, and just put it in your voice. So all this stuff it's not new, and it's not, as you see something, number one, for all of this type of stuff, we probably need to create for lack of a better word, a shelf or section in the library specifically for this type of material to use on your website, to use as an ebook, and not reinvent the wheel, because it takes so much of your time, and it's so, most of us could not do it. Most of us could not go through that exercise. But for me, I'm not inventive, I'm not creative, but I can copy from the best. And so that's what I would encourage everyone to do. Every time you read something to educate yourself, you should download that as a PDF and put it in the library for everyone else to use. Because if you found it useful and interesting, someone else will find it useful and interesting. And we can start to create a repository of information for everybody that's on the GLB platform to use when they start creating funnels for their active campaign or their constant contact or their website. And the only thing I will say to you guys is that you do need to put it in your voice. You can't just copy and paste it. Not only will that get you in trouble, but people will see right through it. You'll have one article saying one thing in one voice and another article saying something in a different voice. So you just need to look at it and put it in your voice. Maybe rearrange, sometimes I read things and I think, they're out of order, and so put it in your order, put it in your lingo, in your, what we might say in the South, and some of the things that I say. I'm sure there's people on the other end that are saying, what is he talking about? He's laughing and he's the only one in on the joke, but you need to do that. You need to put it in your voice. But if we all do that and put that into the library, and I think there's enough in the library right now that you could create a number of ebooks already for yourself, but just white papers, and stuff like that. But I would encourage us to put everything on there.
That's actually the question that I was going to have, because it seems like on the multiple capital raising websites that I've gone to, there's some sort of free offering in the form of either like a sample deal package or some sort of ebook. And that's kind of what led me to the question of like, is there just like this, like, non-affiliated template that's out there that people are using, or is it something they're creating on their own, or, and then how do you get that to match your branding too, when it comes to like your color palette and the stuff that you want to present to be consistent with the actual website itself?
So I'm using PowerPoint, and I created, like, found a template online and I changed up like the colors and stuff like that in it to match my branding. And what you can do is you can save it as PDF and you can keep like all the links and everything too. So it's basically going to output a ebook for you from PowerPoint. You create it in there.
Gotcha. So it's PowerPoint. I see.
That's what I did. A lot of people use Fiverr to get people to build it out there, but I use PowerPoint. It's that way I can control it. I can make changes to it. I have a template that has 40 slides that is kind of geared towards my branding and everything. So I can pick and choose kind of what I'm going for based off of that. I have one done, like in terms of like it completed with in the template. I can put that on GOB tonight or tomorrow if you want to take a look at it. I'll put it in capital raising.
I don't know if Tim's able to answer this, but if he can't, maybe answer in the chat. On the next call, if you would be willing, Tim, would you kind step forward to be the guinea pig for next week's call. And with that, if Tim doesn't speak up verbally, I'm going to give the comm to whoever wants it as I go to the little boys' room.
Hey, Ahmad, the site looks dynamite, man. A question for you, in case, I'm sorry if I missed the question. I see that your who and why strategy tabs on top. Are you still working on that? Because they're telling me page not found just yet.
Yeah. Those links don't work.
Okay.
I still have to build it
Gotcha.
out. I just got the
Okay.
main page done.
Site looks great though, man. Really does.
And so your active
Hey, Chris,
campaign. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Is that okay? Just real quick, your active campaign, Hamad. So that's your weekly newsletter then. Like if people want to subscribe, that's how they get into your CRM.
Yeah, that's what. Well, it's, newsletter, and I have the lead magnets there to the course. So I have a couple of things there. I don't know if I'm going to do a weekly newsletter or not, but
Looks like we lost him.
sorry, yeah, no, I just said that it's I don't know if it'll be a weekly newsletter, but at least like a monthly or bi-weekly one. That's one thing. Then I have the like series of 6 ebooks that I'm using. So
You made these ebooks all by yourself, right, Hamid?
yeah, basically. So what I did was I wrote an article of 1,500 words. Then I'm taking that and putting it into my template, turning it into an ebook.
Okay.
So Hamad, you took out, so you just made an article of 1,500 words, you just like taking all the information from that and just like basing all your content from that, right?
Yeah, so what I can do is I'll on the site, I'll put my article on and I'll put the ebook so you guys can kind of see the difference between like how I took that and turned it into the ebook. And it's literally, I have a template now already, and I'm just gonna recycle that template at like 40 slides to see whatever. And then all I have to do is import in like pictures and stuff like that to suit what the written stuff is.
Right. Yeah, that's a good move right there.
No, it looks
Yeah,
great.
what I've done
Hamid.
in the past is done a video and then I get the video transcribed and that turns into articles, blog posts, and everything else from one video. So if you're more comfortable speaking to, let's say, a microphone or digital recorder, get it transcribed. There's your ebook.
Yeah, exactly. That's great advice there, Pat. That's a great way of doing it. I'm planning on getting moving into like videos and stuff at some point, but it'll be later on. I just want to get all this stuff done first and then slowly get into the videos.
Yeah,
and that goes
so
for podcasts too, if you have a podcast already.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you don't have like a YouTube channel yet, right? You just have like the ebook.
I do not. No, I don't.
Oh.
So for the guys on the call, Hamid, Renee, and myself, was there anybody else that did? We were a part of the boot camp, Adam Gower's investor acquisition boot camp. So basically, it taught us on a high level how to build our own website. They gave us a template. They taught us how to use Beaver Build. Was it Beaver or Build Beaver? I forget the name of the plugin.
Beaver Builder.
Beaver Builder, thank you. And they taught us how to use ConvertKit and how to basically put it all together. They gave us the framework, the template on, building your own page. They started off with one of his pages, and they taught us how to change the hero image to one of your own pictures. Don't steal something or don't borrow pictures that people may have seen somewhere else. They said take your own pictures, and that's basically what I did last weekend. I just ran around the neighborhood looking for apartments and I just snapped pictures of it, and that's what I have on mine, and it works fine. And they taught us how to create the tagline and how it's supposed to appeal to people. So he really went into detail about the tagline, but he also talked about the CTA, the call to action, and he basically did a really good evaluation on a number of people's websites where at least like before and after, and I think Hamid, he did that to you as well, where he took at people's websites and then evaluated it prior to the class starting. And then he taught the class, and then people, subsequently changed it based off his suggestions. But one big thing was, when you get a newspaper from anywhere, how it's folded. So that's, the top part of that is called like the top fold. Is that you need to have your tagline, you need to have a call to action on the top fold. A lot of people have a web page, and at the very bottom, when you scroll all the way down, there's like, if you want more information, please provide your information, please provide your, name and email here. But in Adam Gower's, mindset, he's like, it needs to be, upfront and center. You need to have the, learn more button, or invest with us, or, connect. You need to have that button right there, upfront and center. And it has to stick out. It has to just pop. And so a lot of these things, like he talked about the menu bar, he talked about how to link things to ConvertKit. That's what he's using. But I was playing around with ActiveCampaign today, and I think I like that better. But at least that's my perspective so far. It's also a bit cheaper too. But yeah, so he went through all this, and then today was a really good one because, well, he also taught us how to, write articles and blogs. That was yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago. But today he taught us how to automate this by using some tools that he has. So I think next week, there was a lot we learned this week. So this weekend and early next week, I'm just going to write down all the different tools and things that he shared with us. And I'm just going to post that somewhere on the drive. I'll reach out to Hamid, I'll reach out to Renee, and anybody else who was in the training, and see if I
Yeah,
missed
I'll
anything.
take a look. I should be able to record those and put them on so everyone can
Okay.
actually follow
Yeah.
through and look through the recordings.
But it was worthwhile. The class itself was, I think it was 97, but if you went through when Adam spoke at Jim Biggs meetup a couple of weeks ago, he had a special link for only $47.
Yeah,
So
missed
for
that.
$47, you can't go wrong. There was so much to learn.
I meant to get on that. I forgot it was coming up and it timed out on me.
Yeah,
Right.
it was definitely worth the money. That's for
Yeah,
sure. Like
yeah.
I paid 97, and it was for sure worth the money. Like
So
definitely bang for your buck.
now that, we've had several people go through that program, and if there's interest, if you guys feel that a lot of others would benefit from it, then we can have Adam back. And if we have him back, I'm sure he'll give the same discount again. But I would not want to have him back and not have a little bit different format. So what's going through my mind right now is maybe we have a panel discussion where you guys get to ask him all of the questions that you'd want to ask based on your feedback, since you've already been through the program. So you guys kind of provide the structure of what the next meetup might be. If that's something that the group wants, then we'll make it happen. It might be 4 or 5 months out, or we could have a special, hey, we could actually have it next week at this time if Vinky wanted to interview him.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
like that.
Well, that might be your first guest then, Vinky.
Yeah, I will like that. I will seriously like that. That'd be good.
Are the rest of you guys up for that? Would you
Yes.
help provide some, Kish and Renee and Hamad, could you kind of provide some structure as far as, what to ask and or have some kind of roundtable discussion with him as students of his already, which I'm sure, he would love to do something along those lines, because I expect that you're all advocates. You're not saying, hey, I wouldn't do this again.
Right. Yeah. So what I was thinking, like as I was going through the boot camp, it was pretty intense because like me, I'm not tech savvy at all. Like I suck at this technology stuff. So like going through the technical stuff and like trying to build your website, it's like really hard for me. But what I'm good at is the creative aspect of it. So I'm really good at like coming up with taglines and whatever. So if I would be able to make something like that, like I would be able to make something stick right away. So I think like doing something like that and getting his feedback would be good, because I at least want to get my website done before we have like this meeting with them to see what he thinks or whatnot.
So how long does, using his guidelines, how long before you guys kind of get some basic, a basic website stood up? How long does it take? Not diving deep like Hamad has done.
Oh yeah.
The
So like at the basic level, you could probably get it done within a week. It's just the main thing that just like holds you back is thinking of a name or thinking of the articles that you want to write. That's what's the most time consuming thing. But all the technical aspects, so you can get it done like right away.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was going to say, if you already have something up, you know, you could almost get him to review it in live time and let that be the kind of feedback that would benefit you guys and benefit anybody else that's watching too.
He did that for me last week.
Idea.
He did that when he was on. He pulled up my website and gave me great criticism, and I made the changes that he recommended, and it looks so much better. He's great like that.
So maybe we can do that. Can we give that 2 weeks from now? Because it'll give me just enough time to do some polishing. And we have his environment for another 2 weeks, Renee, or 3 weeks, I think.
I think it's about 3 weeks. Yeah.
Right.
Until we have to pay for it. Yeah.
Exactly. So my goal is to take everything he has and lift it onto my own personal, hosting platform with my own domain, and, enable it maybe like a day or two before he reviews it. That way, that's when he can review it. He can take a look. You guys can take a look, provide some criticism. Then I can, make the changes and then make it live. So
yeah,
sounds good to me. I'm down.
This is Tim. Maybe we can just ask him to do like a workshop for us, and will help a lot of people basically to go through what needs to be basically added to the website or whatever. So just a workshop.
That sounds great. When do you guys plan on having this again? Was it two weeks from today on a Friday?
Well, if Binky's going to host, then it would be the same time on a Friday. And we could do it 2 weeks from now. Binky, and it just occurred to me right now, if you don't have another guest for next Friday, that I would like to volunteer to be your first guest.
Okay.
And what I would like to do, but it's your podcast. I mean, it's your meetup. And so, I'm just, and don't in any way, don't feel pressured. You are absolutely welcome to say no, but if you're going to have the branding as an affiliate of the GOB, I would be more than willing to come on and just discuss a little bit about what the platform is, and what we do and why we do it, and just let you kind of, you and I can kind of bounce ideas off each other as to how, you're involved or why you would even want to be involved. But it's up to you.
Oh, that sounds really good. That sounds really good, Jim. And then we can do that. We can start off that way. And I would like you to come to every meetup after that too, not just one. But I just wanted.
I will be at everyone's meetup as often as I possibly can for as long as I possibly can. But I do envision a day where I'm going to have to start picking and choosing. But
that's true.
And I would encourage everyone on the platform to do the same thing. Support everybody's meetup. I was so embarrassed and disappointed that I did not see Mark's first meetup. It really bothered me. It still bothers me that I wasn't there to support him. And but we need to do that to help each other out as much as we can.
And I wanted to mention one thing, all these boot camps, all this knowledge that we're gathering, paying money here, there, everything, everything is really good. Because wherever you go, you get some aha moment. Oh my God, I didn't know this thing. Like Irini said, I didn't know that technology, or I'm not tech savvy, but I learned something new. But I wanted to mention one thing. By the end of the day, you have to do everything yourself. Because you have to carve out a plan for yourself. Yeah. And then you're going to take that and run with it. Because just going to the boot apps or going to all these meetups or whatever is good. Good network, good knowledge. But again, you have to create a plan for yourself. So maybe Jim, you can have one session and then you can talk about it, how everybody can think and plan for themselves, how they can align the steps together. And then they can just, follow that.
Yeah.
To get to their goal.
Yeah. Absolutely. So
could I ask a quick question?
Sure.
I would love to be part of that Adam Gower workshop, but unfortunately, Bob and I are away on that day. Is it possible to back it up a week? I mean, I don't want to be selfish about it. If it can, it can. But
I was just gonna say we can have Adam in a couple or a few weeks and we can have him on the capital raising one because it's much more aligned to that. Depending on what works for him too, whether he's more available in during the day or in the evenings, we can look at it from that angle as well.
Okay.
I agree. And selfishly, same with James. I'm not available on the 12th if that's the day that you guys were planning on having it.
Yeah.
I would love to be.
And I'm actually I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks in March as well. So.
I'm sorry, Hamad, say that one more time.
I said I'm gone for 3 weeks in March, taking the kids to Disney World.
Okay. Well, I'm all for doing whatever the group decides. It's not my choice. We can maybe start a poll if somebody wants to do a poll on Slack. We'll decide what's best for everyone. I do like the idea of you guys having an opportunity to put together at least a little bit of the website and get some good feedback on it. I do like that piece a lot. But
yeah.
So it's right at an hour since I was late. So I want to start to wrap it up and be, everyone have a chance to go eat some dinner and do what they want to do. But before I do, is there anything else anyone else has that they need to get off their chest before we hang up?
Quick question. Has anybody, I see that we are now affiliated with the Syndication Pro. Is anybody familiar with that? Jared Ash made a collaboration with the GOB and that platform.
I'm familiar with Syndication Pro. I reviewed their product. It's a great product. Depends what you want to do. If you just want a CRM, there are plenty of other tools out there that will be a little bit cheaper. Okay. But if you need to syndicate or raise capital, that's a great platform. Great platform.
Good to know.
That was the same platform that we use.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim. I connection with Lance. I think his last name is Peterson. He has a website. He basically does what he's doing is vetting out operators, and I think it would tie in really well with our group as well. So I'll send you his contact information and his website to take a look at. It'd be a good fit for this group.
Okay, happy to look
what he's doing. So.
Okay. So, Chris, have you got anything that you want to talk about, or you want to hang on to that until you've got more certainty?
Myself, are you talking about?
Yes.
With regards to what? With regards to the CRM, or just in regards to my capital raising platform?
In regards to you guys might be doing something in March, late March.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess we can leave it up to the group and we can make some sort of poll. I'd be open to that and just seeing what works best for everybody.
No, I was giving you the opportunity to promote your meetup if you wanted to promote your meetup.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. So starting, I think it's going to be in April. We're going to be being the official Chicagoland affiliate of the GOB network. We started up a local meetup over here in Chicago back in July of last year, and it's grown to like about 115 members. We've been meeting on the last Sunday of every month. So with that being said, we're hoping that Jim can have some free time to be our next guest speaker up on our March meetup, which will be occurring last Sunday of March. so that way we can start transitioning our platform to be the official Chicagoland affiliate of GOB.
And just so everyone knows, they are already on a different platform that is not Slack. And we had a discussion about if we should be on a lot of these different platforms and trying to push our brand. I think that Hamad might have taken that to the Clubhouse platform, and which I think is great because I'm not iPhone. I couldn't do it anyway, but I think that somebody needed to do it so that we can
I would
take advantage of it.
Yeah, I would just add that I can't take it over just because I literally have no time with everything else I'm trying to do. So I'd love it if someone else here would want to add on to it. That way, at least one of us are on there if we do want to start it.
Yeah, and that's
Hamad, you were right on point. I was actually.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I didn't hear.
What do you feel like? Do you want like a French bread or chicken nuggets or soup or I have the pea soup. You want the pea soup?
Tim, we're going to, it's your call if you want to make your point.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I wanted to join Hamad basically on the Clubhouse and help him do the promotion of GOB.
Okay, so Hamad and I had talked about how best to do this because my biggest issue with Clubhouse, guys, quite honestly, is even if I were iPhone and Apple, I couldn't do it. My day is absolutely full of phone calls already. And so I would have to give something else up that I'm doing. And absolutely, I'm not willing to do that, to do Clubhouse. So the only way to do Clubhouse, in my opinion, for us to really take advantage of the brand would be for all of us to volunteer. Today is my day. Today I'm Clubhouse, or next week I'm Clubhouse, and literally sign up to volunteer to take control of it, on a particular, and I don't know if it needs to be daily or weekly or monthly, or I know nothing about Clubhouse. So you guys would have to decide that amongst yourselves how to do it.
Yeah, the more often, the better, preferably daily, not because I would prefer it, but from my observations, a lot more people find different times in the day to log in and kind of like listen to it. Typically it takes maybe two people, two moderators. Otherwise it just gets boring. And let's see, weekly is not something that people be particularly attending. So the more often, the better.
So right now we've got roughly 200 people on the platform. I don't know, there's a disconnect between how many are on the platform and how many are on Slack, but that seems to ebb and flow every month. But let's just call it 200 for the sake of argument. If you need to team up for it to remain interesting, that's 100 different potential people to do this. If you cut that in half, that's 50. So it should be easily to put together to get 30 people to do it so that you have only obligated once a month. But you guys will need to push that. I'll help promote it and push it for you. But get on Slack and make a post and say who wants to do this, and get some people to raise their hand, and we may have to, give them a gentle nudge here and there. But I'm all for supporting you guys and doing it. And
I think we should. Sorry to interrupt. I was thinking that we should create a channel on Slack, Clubhouse, and let people join that, and then from there people can volunteer who wants to go which day.
Great idea. Vicky.
Yeah, and I think we
Great idea.
can create it in a. We can kind of have the format be similar to Meetup, where we can have, a speaker or something come every week, and it's basically, pick their brain or something along those lines that you can do.
Okay.
so Chris, remind me again, I've had a senior moment. What's the name of the platform, Dorm, for that you guys are on right now?
Oh, so we're currently using Discord as the platform, and it's really similar to Slack. So if you're used to the Slack channel, it's a pretty easy transition to kind of learn. You can have multiple channels, and you can actually break those channels down into multiple subgroups through hashtags. And you can also have a voice chat in there, and you can also link Zoom, I believe, to the platform as well.
So they're going to create a sub-channel of their existing channel for the GOB network so that people can organically start to migrate over as they have an interest, because their channel had been focused primarily on single family, but they'd had enough interest in multifamily that you know, all three of the all three of the founders of the meetup are interested in multifamily. So we'll slowly start to migrate them over. But we eventually, as everyone knows, want to be in all aspects of real estate, not just multifamily, not just commercial. But I really, you know, for me, everything I do is multifamily. So that's the foundation. But eventually, as other people have other interests, we can start to create these different pieces. And so if Discord, I don't know, just like GOB on Clubhouse or GOB wherever it exists, if Discord will, if somebody else has other Discord channels, if there's any benefit to that, we'll try to determine that and move forward with it. But so it's starting, guys. We're gonna have GOB in Chicago, GOB New York. We've got the Bay Area now. The China thing, to speak to China real quickly. We've got Eddie wanting to do Hong Kong and Dion wanting to do Beijing. But Dion is taking on a lot of responsibility with the website, but he cannot do it himself. And I really need people that have any input. I don't care how small the input is. If it's input about challenges that you've had, or you can give some pointers, whatever input you can do to help Dion out, please do that. He's looking for content. He's looking for articles. He's looking for an extra set of eyeballs, an extra set of hands, you know, whatever he can do to build out the website. And that website will be your guys' website. I mean, he's building it because he wants to drive traffic.
Yeah.
You know, so I really need everyone to lend a hand. I don't care how small it is, but lend a hand. Give him some support.
Yeah, I saw
like he's drowning by himself.
I saw a little bit of how far he come along. It's going to be great once he finishes it up. It's great for the whole platform.
Jim, is there a tech channel just for like the technology, just for like, you know, the website, you know, anything technology related for GOB?
I don't think so, Keish. And you know, I've been trying to get all the tech people, but which, by the way, I'm glad that you brought that up, because on the questionnaire, I had changed several of the questions because I wanted very specific information, and we weren't getting it. So especially in regard to, I want to know what your day job is. And I want to be able to know if it's not just your day job, but if you have an expertise from college or from your life experiences, because specifically for things like this, I want to be able to know who can I call and say, can you help with this? Can you help us put this together? So having a tech channel, if we can drive people there that have not just an interest, but an expertise, whether they're in programming or, you know, or something else, project management or whatever in that space. But
this is funny, Jim. I almost created one about an hour ago after I was just helping a couple of guys set up the SSL certificates. I was like, well, maybe I should just create a channel for IT or something tech related, because I know a lot about it. So
go for it.
Yeah. And I will tell you guys that the only thing about us creating channels is we can get way overboard and have so many that we lose track of where everything is and what we're doing. And we We want to have channels that are very useful. And I think IT is definitely, because it's gonna be so much more than just helping on a website. There's gonna be a point where we're gonna need some real help and guidance on best practices as we move forward, how we use this data and how we safe keep this data and how we transform it and move it to different places. So yeah, I think that's a good one. We just don't want to willy-nilly create too many.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jim. Maybe we can just think about like questions to ask, because IT is pretty big area, and I mean, once people start flooding questions about every possible thing in IT, I mean, we're just gonna spread pretty thin on other things. It's gonna take up a lot of time of everybody's just going through the questions and answering them. Maybe just narrow it down on certain things that would be related to a lot of folks on the platform.
Yeah, and I don't know yet. One of the things about Discord is you can create, they don't call it a channel, they call it a subcategory, I think, or a category, and then you can create subcategories under it. As far as I know, Slack does not give us that opportunity yet. So if we create an IT channel, we can't create sub-channels under it, I don't think. So that's one thing that we might need to reach out to Slack and encourage them. If they get enough requests, maybe they'll create it, or maybe it's there and I just don't know it. And
We're
also
using the free version though.
Yeah, and if that's another great point. You know, I'm hesitant to ask everyone to chip in and pay for something, but we may need to start doing that on certain things that we feel we really need. But I don't want an individual or only 4 or 5 of us having to pay for something. I really, we might get to a point where I know I say that I want to offer free content. I want everything to be the freemium model. But if we get to a point where we need the paid version of Slack or the paid version of something else that we have to do as a group, then we may have to move to that model where even if it's only 10 cents a month, you know, we have to do something along those lines. And that's a difficult decision for me. And I don't know yet exactly how to address that. But
Jim, there could be tools out there that we can utilize to do like queuing of questions per channel and just basically answering them. Maybe we should just look through the possible apps that support this kind of thing. And we don't really have to pay anything for it.
Yeah. Well, I already know that it's there for free on Discord. I just can't imagine us moving 200 people to Discord at this point. And all of the stuff that we've already created inside of Slack. Now, using integrations or IFTT or Zapier and those types of integrations might be our solution. I don't know, but definitely something we need to probably. And Tim, if you have expertise there, I'd love for you to create some feedback or questions and I know Keish has some and Davide has, you know, some, and I don't know who else I can't remember who else is in tech, but I know we've got quite a few people that are. So, all right, guys.
Sure.
One last thing, Jim.
Yeah.
On the drive, I just want to let everyone know, on the drive, I created a folder called Market Reports, and I started putting some market reports in those folders. Okay, so I put my email in the chat. If there's a market that you would like a market report done on, let me know, and I will put it inside the market report folder in the chat. It's broken down by states and by cities, which is the markets, and I'll put it in. Just want to let everybody know it's there.
Thanks, Daryl. Is that like CoStar reports, or what kind of reports are those?
CoStar market reports.
Nice. Thank you.
Yep.
Great value, Daryl. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, there's so much more. We'll just keep going, guys, if we don't cut it off.
Got it.
We won't end. So I'll call it, and thank you guys. Great participation tonight. I can't say how much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you guys, and I think we're heading in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Sure.
We are.
Bye,
Night, everybody.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Take care, guys.
Have a good night.
Thank you,
Good night,
guys.
guys. Bye-bye.